Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and our continued coverage of Marvel United here. Up next in our unboxing spree is going to be the Coming of Galactus. Ironically enough, this is the Fantastic Four's The Coming of Galactus, but we got the Fantastic Four in the last round. I think this just speaks to CMON's continued inability to dial back their Kickstarters. They see money coming in and they just continue to push their products. This should have been the round when Fantastic Four came out. The last series 2 or whatever of Marvel United was X-Men. They're not really X-Men. And this is their time to shine here, but we already have Final Four, so we're good. But yeah, it's a quite large box, if you can see, but most of that is because it has a very large Galactus miniature in here. So this is going to give us kind of a new way to play, just a different type of boss. So rule books here you can see how big Galactus is going to look comparatively. He's going to rotate around. Obviously you're not he's not going to be traveling around the individual locations, and it appears that there's whole new locations for him that all appear to be kind of you're out in space. We're also getting a new Silver Surfer, I believe, or maybe not. Maybe we aren't getting a Silver Surfer. I am not sure. But yeah, let's take a look at what's in the box here. So 2 new big boards. This is kind of a 2-part if you want to play it that way, or you can just play them one off. So there's the Heralds of Galactus, I believe is this one. Yeah, the Heralds of Galactus. And so this, again, it has lots of, kind of similar to Sinister Six, where it's going to have a lot of physical bosses on the board that can all mess with you a lot. Based on this track up here, and as you slowly work your way down through them, you'll eventually win the scenario. And then we have the Coming of Galactus, which is his big oversized scenario here. So that's cool. We have some tokens here. These are going to be used for the Heralds of Galactus scenario. You can see that their spots are going to be up here, so you can move them around and track who's doing what. There, I guess you can randomize them as well, A, B, C, D. This is going to be our locations that are going to be specific to Coming of Galactus. I'm assuming you can mix these in with the rest, but these are all going to be, entire continents looking at things through space. Oceania and Asia. Okay, I may have started with Asia, I'm not sure. So there's our locations. Here we have, so these villains can also be used on their own in any other scenario. If I could get this paper ripped. So you could simply bring the Fire Lord into any scenario and play him as a solo boss. Same thing with Nova, same thing with Terrax and Airwalker. So again, these are not going to be used in the Heralds of Galactus scenario, but they can be used to play one-offs. So this is providing us a lot of good options. Ooh, lots of storage in this one for cards. So we'll take a look at these here in a second, because I'm sure everybody is super interested in what is beneath this. It's all coming up as one piece. Is this taped? Did you tape it? You did. All right, so quick public service announcement. There is tape around the edges, and Galactus is also kind of tied in from the back. So you're going to have to lift the whole thing out to get him untied. But let's take a look at these smaller guys first here. Nothing out of the ordinary. A lot of these, though, have got the flame effects, which is cool. Personally, I've been leaving the flame effects go on some of the other miniatures from like the X-Men, and just painting up around it. For example, this guy's got a flame effects base, which is cool. I know that there's some people who are talented enough to paint better looking flames. Yeah, or like this girl who's completely flames, whereas, what's his toes from Fantastic Four had a standard base. And this is cool. This is cool. It's almost like a wave of flames. It's a good use of both. All right, but we all came here to see the big bad boy. Here is Galactus in all of his glory. You can see right here that there's a little arrow, so when he's sitting down on the board, you know officially where he's facing. But yeah, he's going to be a big boy to paint. I appreciate that they made him purple, so he at least seems somewhat thematic. Unfortunately, it's not quite the right shade of purple. So that you could go in and just like do brush on primer to paint up just the blue areas in his face, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna have to look and see what people are doing to paint him up. But he's very sturdy. He's all one piece, so he's not going to be coming apart or anything like that. He doesn't feel fragile or anything like that. You know, some of the dragons from like Zombicide and Massive Darkness, some of those have a lot of things sticking out and feel very fragile. This guy feels pretty solid, so I appreciate that. Sticking with the whole chibi theme, he fits right in. And so yeah, we'll just take a quick look at the cards here, not too extensively, and that's going to be our coverage of Coming of Galactus. So here are the cards for Coming of Galactus. There are more cards here. You know, for example, Nova can be played as a good or bad character, so there's a couple cards in here, or like the Fire Lord has his own unique setup card here. We're not going to dive into those, but this is the focus on how different the Galactus is. So Galactus has his standard deck of storyline cards here that you can see he's moving a little bit, he's bamming, you know, he's got a lot of them. He's got a bigger deck than normal, so you have longer to defeat him, I guess. Then he's got these. So these are going to be his like mission cards, and this one's always going to be on the bottom. So you can say this one says convince Galactus to spare Earth. So this is always the last one, and the rest of these are shuffled up and placed randomly throughout. So you can see defeat Firelord, defeat Tarak, defeat Nova. So these guys may be popping back up. It may be a card like this. So instead of the, you know, rescue however many civilians, defeat however many thugs, unlike the areas, you're dealing with these as they come up. So here you can see these are going to be the threats that are going to be appearing, covering up the spaces. So it's essentially just these same heralds now popping back up, or it could be ones like these, or it even could be ones like these where you're adding a new herald not previously known about, you know, literally like making some other random hero in the game a herald. It could be Captain America for all we know. And then last but not least here we have the Silver Surfer edition. So I was wrong. You don't get a second Silver Surfer. So if you, for some reason, were not paying attention and have not picked up the Fantastic Four as an option, so don't have the Silver Surfer miniature, these cards would be useless to you. But if you do have them, then you can see here we have the Silver Surfer. This card can be used in the Heralds of Galactus mode, and then this can be shuffled in into the Galactus mode. So you would replace one of the Heralds cards with this. So say Firelord. If you took out Firelord and put in Silver Surfer, because that's more thematic, then this would be one of the 8, and this would be then the threat card that you would also say take out the Firelord's card and put in Silver Surfer's card. So if you have all these, you're going to want to only play with 7 of these, making sure that there's, you know, 4 of these Herald ones, and so on and so forth. And this one, again, is always at the bottom. So that's just to give you a general idea of how this plays differently. We'll be doing a playthrough later on down the road of this as part of our coverage of Marvel United, so you guys can see, in fact, how these both game modes, the Heralds of Galactus and the Coming of Galactus, play. So that's going to do it for this unboxing, again, of the Coming of Galactus. We've got more on the way, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.